Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. This message is for the government of Kenya. As I said in the title, NFD is Somalia. And the new aggression, the new Kenyan aggression is not welcome. Kenya should know that Somalia is Somalia, and Somalia has been divided by the colonial European colony into 5. One region was awarded to Kenya. That region is called NFD. And you know that you never invested a dime into the northeastern region of Kenya. For that reason. The reason which is that you know from the bottom of your heart and at the back of your mind that this region is not yours. You developed the rest of the country and you neglected that region for that reason. You were expecting that this land will go back to its original owner, Somalia, one day. Therefore, you did not want to waste your money into this part. You know from the bottom of your heart that Lapset, Lamu Port and Lamu Southern Sudan Ethiopia Transport Corridor was a failure project from the get-go. You know it. You know what it will cost you and the prospected income that this project will generate without a land grab, without expansion, without seizing and grabbing a part of Somalia. You know that. We are in 21st century, for God's sakes. What's wrong with you? This is not the time to wage wars and try to grab lands. We are in the digital era. The whole reason that British colony, your uncle, gave you my land was to give you some economic power, expecting that the oil and gas could only be found in the Somali territory. British Petroleum and Shell has realized as early as 1920s that only Somalia holds those futures. Therefore, they wanted to balance out the power of the region by giving you one piece of my land and giving another piece to the Ethiopian government. And amazingly, the only 2 places that Ethiopia and Kenya are developing and trying to explore oils are the 2 regions given to them by the British colony. Let me tell you something. Africa is older than 1 century. Africa was not found by the British colony or Italian colony or French colony or European colony in general. Africa was there before them. There are cultural heritages. There are people that live in those lands, that lived before the colony and lived after the colony. So both colonial heritage shows and indicates there is no one person that's not Somali that lives in NFD. One Somali, except few military and government employees that have been transferred there, and they think and see it as a curse. And you know from the bottom of your heart, this land is not yours. So forget about trying to grab a new and seize new a portion of the Somali government, Somali country, Somaliland. Remember that Somalis have in the bottom of their hearts that NFD is their land. We're coming for it. From now on, prepare and get ready for the transfer of that land to its original owner, Somalia. We're coming for it. We're dreaming with it. We'll live with it. And we will never neglect our land and our people. Remember, we are just going through turbulence. But you know, we freed ourselves from a British colony which was way stronger than you. While we had nothing, throwing stones and rocks. We will free ourselves from any aggression, and from any person that seizes our land will face the consequences. My warning to you, back off. Back off. Do not create wars. We don't need no wars. We don't need nothing from you. You should not need nothing from us. You should not want anything from us. You should focus what you have and the God-given properties of yours. You should be satisfied with what you have. And we should be satisfied with what we have. And everybody should be left alone with what they have. God gives whosoever he wishes, whatever he wishes. Somalia is for Somalis. Somalia is for Somalis. Remember, we are neighbors and we could be brothers. But we could never be brothers while you have the intention of grabbing my land or taking away the peace that's under your federal government that you neglected 100%. There's no even roads, no infrastructure in the northeastern country, piece of the country. And that's for that reason. You know from the bottom of your heart that this is not your land and it will go away one day. I think the day is coming and Uhuru Kenyatta has made the worst calculation, and he will be remembered as the one who created this fiasco for Kenya. People in a glass house never throw stones. You have my country, piece of my country, and you are starting aggression. Evacuate your army from Juba. Juba land is not yours. NFD is not yours. Evacuate as soon as possible. Do not create wars, because wars only kill. They don't save lives, they take away lives. And you know Somalis have dignity and they will wallahi defend their dignity. I tell you this, we will all get together when we see enemy from outside. We are going through turbulence. We don't need no aggression. We need help and assistance. I was listening or reading instead. I was rather reading the ambassador's tweet saying the way forward between us and Somalia and the preferred way of handling this is to talk one-on-one. Because you know from the bottom of your heart that you're going to lose the case in the ICJ. We're not interested until that decision is made. We're not interested. If that decision is for you, trust me, we will explore our other options, and everything is on the table. Every option is on the table. We will, in a way or another, defend our land and defend our dignity and defend our resources and people. Somalis, they have the tendency of getting together when they see enemy from outside. They have the tendency of fighting from within. However, when they see somebody from outside, they get together. That's what's happening right now, and you should be alarmed. You shouldn't start this. And now, the best exit strategy for Kenya: back off, evacuate, settle down, leave the Somalis alone. Do not wake up the sleeping giant. Africa is not century old. I was following the reports of the claims of the Kenyan government, and they always cite the colonial documents and European documents, century old. Let me say it again. Africa and Somalia is not century old. Somalia was before 1884, when the European colonies decided to divide it into 5. That's why I still have the 5 star in the blue flag of mine. I will never forget. We will never forget. We will always remember what happened to us. We will always, we can forgive, but we will never forget. That's my message to Uhuru Kenyatta and everyone who is responsible and legitimate leader in Kenya. Do not create problems. Kenya is peace. Kenya is flourishing without they don't need to grab lands from Somalia. They don't need to steal resources of someone else. They can be satisfied with what they have. They have a lot of different resources. They have peace, for God's sakes. You don't need to create problems for Kenya. Leave the Somalis alone. Leave the Somaliland alone and back off. Back off. And now prepare for transferring NFD to its original owner, which is Somalia. Let alone grabbing a new piece of land. Prepare. Bring it back to us. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much. Please share this piece. Thank you.